My name is Wayne Albury. I'm the athletic director here at Peru State College, and we're here this morning to talk about the ROAR program and how excited we are here on campus and the buzz in the community about the new facilities we have coming on board. And first of all, we have our large dome facility that will have many benefits for not just our athletes but all students on campus. And I think that's what excites me the most about that project is that there can be a lot of activities in there, intramural activities, concerts, band competitions, just a lot of different things that we can do here on campus with our students and with students in the community. The second part of that project is a baseball, softball facility, which has been needed for a long time. And I think probably a lot of softball and baseball players could attest to that. No bathrooms, no locker room. And this is really exciting for our student athletes, especially now that we have varsity and JV programs, which equates to over 100 athletes. That facility is going to bring locker rooms, bathrooms, a training room, concession stands, not just only at the baseball facility, but also at the softball facility. It's also going to house an indoor practice facility, which can also be used by other students. The word that we're using here on campus is it's going to transform our athletic department and also our campus. It's just going to be a great opportunity for us to move forward and not just be competitive in our own conference, but it's going to let us be competitive nationally with the facilities that we have to practice in. And really the most important thing right now is that our AWAC facility is just overcrowded. Weight room, practice facility. Right now as we're speaking, there's 2 teams practicing in the AWAC, and we really need these facilities for our athletes and our students to be able to come in and train and get some recreation. They need to have recreational activities. This ROAR campaign can change lives for students. And whenever we do things here on campus, our number one goal is to change the lives of our students. They're obviously coming here to get a degree, but these new facilities can just help us help transform their lives, help their emotional health, help their mental health, their physical health, and obviously all those things go together when you're here to get an education. Not only can it benefit our students, but it can benefit our faculty and staff, and probably most importantly, it can benefit the community with the ability of the community to come and use these facilities and let everyone see what Peru State is about.
And I'm the head softball coach at Peru State. I think that it would mean obviously a lot. There's a lot of pieces that I'm sure people have heard a bunch of times already about, just as little as having an actual bathroom at the field. I mean, you get into game days where a player's not going to want to go in there with metal cleats on into a porta potty so they don't slip in there. So, and then waiting in line, also being able to have a place for umpires to change. I also think it would be really good for not just softball, but also baseball to have the home team locker room to really give them the college experience. I think it's, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but that's also more, time that the players get to bond together before that game. Instead of changing at home, apart from each other and then just showing up to the field ready to play. I also believe that the paving the roundabout is great for handicap or elderly, not having to walk with, a wheelchair or a walker down a paved road. And of course, this time of year is a really big time of year where we would love to have the indoor facility so that we have the space to practice when we need. Of course, during basketball season, they get priority, which is totally understandable. But then that leaves baseball and softball with nowhere to really practice. It's really busy, and outfielders don't really get a lot of pop fly situations before they play games in February because there's just not that space right now inside. If we have girls during this kind of dead period where coaches can't have contact with them and they want to come in and hit on their own, just space right now, the availability is pretty scarce. So it would definitely help open up a lot of options for us. As a Bobcat alumni, I'm really familiar with the way that the kind of availability went. We did get a lot of availability on Fridays, but like during the week, it would either be we have to go really early in the morning or late at night. And that's not always ideal for, like these kids are students first, so they need to make sure that they're not having to stay up super late to be at softball practice because of the availability. And, doing the 2-a-days and having to kind of crunch it into a shorter amount of time as opposed to giving those kids that break that they need to, say do their weights and conditioning and then come back later for, the softball aspect of it. It kind of could wear on you a little bit. And especially with nowadays with, just the current, state of most kids post-COVID and everything like that. Like we really want to make sure that we're focusing on mental health and everything like that. So we don't want to make it be like you only breathe, eat, sleep softball. We want to make sure that they're getting that time away too as they need it. And when we have more space and availability, that helps open up that option. I would say think about if you were an alumni or if it was your kid that had played here or that would maybe look at being recruited here. I mean, if you have a kid that's played softball or any sport, one of the things that you're going to look at when you go on a visit is the facilities. And if you want for us as a state school here in Nebraska to be as competitive with the rest of colleges here in the state and surrounding area, to me, it's a no-brainer to donate to this project. It's only going to benefit anyone involved. And again, these kids deserve to have a good college experience. And this is just one more step to help that come true.